All right, we are going to start with booklet number 1. This is the content of baggie number 1, including some pieces from the unmarked bag as well. As you're building, if you realize that some of the pieces are in a different baggie, then go ahead and open those. Just don't open the number 4s. We're going to save those. So I'm just going to do the building instructions. You guys can go ahead and follow along. I'm going to go a little quick, so feel free to pause this or rewatch or do anything that you need to do. Even though the base looks like it's one of those big 16 by 16 gray base plates, it's actually going to be these 4 separate ones that we put together. All right, so we're going to start with number 1, and then number 2, we're taking another one, we're putting it underneath like this, and then we are leaving these hanging halfway over the edge. So they're going to be hanging halfway over. Step number 3 here, we're going to add in one more piece underneath like this and add one more of these smooth tile pieces hanging over the edge again like that. Step 4, we just put this one on like this, and now they're all together just like that. All right. Step number 5, we're going to add 4 more of these. They are going to make some capital T's, leaving a nice space right in the center right here where this white piece is going to go. So we just push that right down here, and now we're done with number 6. Moving on to number 7. This part, you can see there's kind of this circle pattern right here. That's going to allow this to be pushed and snapped down. So if you kind of move it around until you feel it kind of drop a little bit and then push, you'll hear a click, and then this should be able to turn around in place like that. Take the tan piece with the axle and the red light and stick it on just like that so that you have the smooth pin face here, and that's going to just go right in like that, so that's sticking up there. And now we're going to build up our crane. So we're going to take 2 of these pieces. It's only going to connect on the sides here. So what you got to do is kind of get it as best as possible here, and then on the other side here, leaving 2 studs, a 2-stud gap, and that's where this block goes right here. Now, this is important. When we take the next step, don't match it right on top, don't stack. This piece should be covering the rest of them. This is going to make it a little bit more durable, so it should be covering like that. So it should look like this at the end of step number 10. Just like this, kind of this open spot right here. Then we're going to close that off in step 11. So we close off that open spot. And then step 12, we go across like this. And that way, when we have these vertical lines here, we're covering them off with another piece. So same thing in step 13, what you want to do, we don't want to go directly on top of these pieces, we want them to go across. So if you look in the picture, you'll notice that you have these lines, and then this one is going on top. So if you don't see the lines underneath, then you're doing it wrong. You want to come here and cover those lines like that. We're going to go on the other side here, just like that. And then we're going to take our long pieces so that they're sticking up, just like this. There we go. Take those other 2 pieces, and it's going to be a little wobbly. So, you know, this part can be a little tricky sometimes, but you just want to make sure that you're getting it so that it's right here connected on the end, so it's flush on either side. So we go across. Do not skip step number 17. People often skip this step, but if it's like this, we want to cross it going the other way. Going across here. And then the last step with the crane is we have these gray pieces that are not going across, but they are parallel to the build. So we should have 2 layers of yellow bricks going across these, and then 2 layers of yellow, and then 1 layer of dark gray. All right, so that's our crane. looking right here. On the back, you do have step number 19 to build these boxes. These are just gonna kind of simulate maybe construction needs, nails, supplies, anything that you might need for your construction site. So you guys can go ahead and build these. It's just the tile pieces go right on top of the brick. Super easy for you to do. All right, that was part 1. Next up is part 2.